you in government, no matter how well you're performing, everything gets hung around your neck. Everything you get blamed for. These days is crime. Moun ka shoot moun so, si on ba gouvernement ka fait qui pas bon, si on ba Philippe J. Pierre avec Jeremiah Norbert ka fait qui pas bon, c'est on sacrifice qui ka fait, c'est on, on si on ça, c'est criminals yo in gouvernement, c'est boys yo qui ka fait ça, this kind of thing it will go on. I don't think as many people will believe it because they will see the government's record and its performance. And here's what I want to say again. Being a soldier, not every soldier deals with the fierce direct frontal charge. Yes, some do. You need to sometimes charge and hurl yourself across the field of fire where there is no cover, where you're out in the open, where the enemy with machine gun and whatever can cut you down seemingly at will. If you have the numbers and you have the determination, you'll overcome them. But there are also soldiers who engage in taking cover and shooting from cover, the snipers and the sharpshooters. There are those who engage in flanking, going seemingly that you're leaving the battlefield, but it's around the enemy, you go into circle them. There are those who engage in sabotage, go and blow up a bridge so they can bring in reinforcements and bring in fuel and bring in ammunition and this kind of thing. There are different types of soldiers. Not every soldier is the type that deals with a ham-fisted approach. That is the type that has to deal with what you call the blowhard approach. That has to be fierce and whatever. Labor people, be careful. Don't think that being a soldier means to basically tell off everybody who not a labor, who's supporting Flabo, to remind them how dumb they are, to remind them that the substance of government is over here and not over there. I've only said that in 2006, what happened in December 2006. This is the best time ever for what I call political evangelization, to win people over. Why? Because of the absolute inept, bungling, leadership of Alan Chastney and the antagonizing statements of Guy Joseph, among others. This is the best time to put an arm around the Flabo and persuade them that the Labour Party is open and available to them. Take that approach instead. Now, there are times you have to stand up, and don't compromise and tell people what you have to tell them. There may even be time for the tell-off. All I'm saying is do not get into the mood of cocksure. That because the government is performing so well, and performing well it is, and it has such a great leader as Philippe Joseph Pierre, that we can afford basically to tell people where to get off and this sort of thing. When you're in government, you get blamed for everything. You never know how it may go. People, I have a feeling that members of the opposition, the same way they did or they tried what they tried with Martinez, the same way they continue to try what they tried with Rijok. Something about that name, I kind of...
Is it about the job?
Honestly, you can't correct this guy. You can't reform him, You think you rehabilitate him. He spent 10 years in jail. He got disbarred as a lawyer for whatever joking he was doing. But the guy just keeps re-joking all over again and so on, That the thing that they try with Martinez and Rijok, it will not surprise me that those fellas are relentless in trying to see if they can incite, if they can rile up, if they can, instigate something against us from the United States as one example. It may be difficult now with a Labour government, although not always, in the UK and so on, that these guys will never stop trying to see if they can get Donald Trump's ear, or at least Marco Rubio's ear, to try to tell them to take sanctions, to put sanctions on us, to take action against us, against our visa, against our trade, against our CIP, to put tourism advisory on us. It won't surprise me, if those fellas are doing that all the time. They just have not made the breakthrough. Because one of the things about people who grew up in places like St. Lucia, who because they are, as the Procol Harum song went, a lighter shade of pale, that they believe that, there were the days in St. Lucia where when you of that complexion, when you're of that kind of, high brown, half white, shabby kind of person, it was almost a guaranteed ticket, a guaranteed foot in the door to certain banks to get a job there. Even if the darker person, the person who had more coffee in their milk than milk in their coffee, they could not get in there, even if maybe on paper they were much better qualified than you. But you would get jobs in certain banks. You'd get jobs in certain companies, But the thing about those people is that when they migrated to places like the United States and the UK, You would be surprised when they came on vacation to see they were the ones who had locks in their hair. They were the ones who had kinks. They were the ones who were talking the talk, the eyes green and gold and all this sort of thing. Because there was a rude awakening for them that whereas they could parade in St. Lucia that there's some kind of Beche or closer to the Beche, in those societies, they don't have regard for you. Once you see you below the tier of the blue-eyed, blonde-head, you know, Nordic and European look and so on, about far they're concerned, you're black, you know. Some of them would be generous enough to call you colored, but, you know, the kind of status you had in St. Lucia, you don't have it. And so when they went to those societies expecting to have that kind of, you know, being looked up to and regaled and regarded, and they realized frustration set in. Doors were not opening up for them as they wanted to. And so before long, they did what you would have considered to be almost impossible, but at least comical. That the very same thing they would have looked down in St. Lucia about Rastas and all this thing, which was a protest against discrimination and racism and oppression and colonization and all this kind of thing. You find them now identifying with the Rastas and with the dreadlock message. So sometimes the people who in St. Lucia believe that their whiteness or semi-whiteness and so on will give them an immediate access and heir to the Donald Trumps and so on. They might be having a rude awakening too, you know, that Trump don't really think too much about them. You're still from a shithole country, you understand? And he don't really regard you. So maybe they have been trying, but they're not getting the air. But they will continue with lower level people and the Marco Rubios who believes being part of Trump's movement will help his presidential ambitions in the future. So Marco Rubio wants to show he's that Republican, right-wing, tough guy and so on. And he'll do anything. So these people are probably trying all the time to see if they can get something that will put some ball squeeze, you know, squeeze the balls of St. Lucia. And then that will make Philip JPL look like, oh, he's gotten us into trouble. We're losing our visas. And this kind of thing. Don't think they ever. So all I'm saying, folks, never believe that we are out of the danger zone. Always tell yourself, though you don't have to tell anybody. I'm not asking you to go about and say, oh, we're losing the election, you know, or we're behind. But tell yourself, or behave as if the Labour Party, no matter how far ahead it is, that we are actually miles behind. In other words, motivate yourself to work hard as if we have something to catch up with. All it takes is a hurricane. All it takes is some calamity. All it takes is some tariff thing or some trade thing that is put on us, and we can find ourselves struggling. Do not become cocky. Do not become arrogant. Do not become overly quarrelsome and fierce and blowhard and ham-fisted and so on, that you feel like you can afford to cuss off people because you know we're going to win. And that's also one of the reasons, you know, why we shouldn't be too much about this, we're going to win. You see, people have a way they mostly come out to vote when they want to remove a government. Mostly, not always. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to come out because they want to stay with Mr. Pierre. They want to stay with the Labour Party. But people have a way, when you see we talk as if we have it already, there may be a lot of people who might say, okay, I know we're going to win already and so on, and they may not be so motivated. You know, people don't take anything for granted. I saw something posted on Facebook recently, and I loved it. Some comments by Mr. Richard Peterkin, you know, pertaining to Prime Minister Pierre, basically like he's endorsing it. But, you know, don't take those things like this is what you're staking, you know, your hope on that. Oh, boy, Peterkin and Edmund Estefan, and he with us now. And who else I'm hearing their names mentioning? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. I'm not saying it's not something that make me feel happy. I'm not saying it's not one of those things that make me feel better than I would have felt if it had not been so. All I'm saying is don't go punching the air about that. And you have your vibe on it and the rally and the motorcade and this kind of things and so on. Don't do that. Take it for what it is. When it's nice, take it for the niceness of it. But do not let those things cause you to become complacent and to believe we there. There may be other UWPs, you know, apart from Edmund Estefan, and I'm hearing other names which I will not mention, that there are people who are moving towards the Labour Party. All I'm saying is continue seeing what you can do to encourage them. Don't get cocky. Don't get complacent. Don't get too fierce. Stand up and defend your party and your prime minister and the policies and the things that they have done. Stand up and do all of that, my friend. But above all, do it in a manner that shows people that the place you are, that the path you have chosen is better than where they are. And I think John Estefan has shown us that. Yes, we have seen that in him. I think there are others who are showing that. who will come into it. Don't make the Labour Party seem like a place where people will keep on telling you how ignorant you are and how uneducated you are and how things that. In other words, don't make the Labour Party a place that they feel as if they're not good enough for it. Don't do that, my friend. Once you're in government, everything gets thrown at you. Now, Terry has told me today he wants to go to St. Jude. And I'm all for that. Because I'm hearing certain things. You see that St. Jude? You see that St. Jude? It's panicking. UWP. Panicking them. Guy Joseph and Alan Chastney in particular. You hear me? I heard certain things about the electricals and this and that and the other and so on. But I'll leave that for Terry. You know? I think he has come up really revved up, really loaded and pumped up for that. So I will not steal his thunder. Terry.
Yeah, let me piggyback on something you said there about welcoming, being nice to our Flubbo people. This morning at Pensioners Cove, well, I've told you where that is.
Yes.
One of them he was telling me about an episode he had, an experience. He went to get blood work done. Now he's a little on the chubby side.
A fellow like me? Don't be afraid to tell me I was done. I wouldn't be vexed.
So the needle, for some reason, they were not getting, it wasn't flowing. And his hand, his fist was clenched. Not the feces, a la cacal. They had to try the other arm. And you try to make sweet talk with the lady, the nurse who is taking the blood. And, he said, well, boy, if it's you're beautiful, just like the lady in Southeast Castries. So she blushed. But somebody else said, and kid, what'd you say? A Flubbo of Heralding Rock era, of Heralding Rock's era. And he said, boy, they got not heated, but, talking, and he was there. And he said at the end of it, she looked at him because he had the star on his phone. And she says, well, you were not angry, you didn't. And I listened to you on the conversation. And I think I'm going to be voting for Lisa. Now, I did not expect you to be saying what you said there.
Conversion.
Yeah, and he can call if he wants, but his voice is too popular. He's a serious one. Well, he's retired, but he's still in me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. After the conversation, drawing blood. Yeah, the way you spoke there and everything, your case you presented. You have, I'm convinced, so I suspect I'll be voting for Lisa. And that was instructive.
Historically, the Labour Party has had people like you,
Yeah.
intelligent people who you hold them in an argument, they will easily, dismantle your argument. But too often also, I have seen the Labour Party winning all the arguments, but losing the election.
Yeah.
You understand? When it comes to the arguments and the case that we make, we usually are better, than anybody. But, my friend, I'm telling you, it's no point winning the arguments and losing the election. Elections are about people. Elections are about numbers. Elections are about critical mass. Don't take anything for granted. Right now, we on a roll, but somebody, as you say in football, somebody can body check you. Come and bang you and so on. And we don't know what you didn't trade and diplomacy and visa and sanction and whatever that can come on us. We have to play our cards right. We can't afford to be cussing off people.
No. Yeah. This is the time we're not using vinegar.
Yes.
We have to use, honey.
Yes, for sure.
That we can,
for sure.
We can get them in. And we're not chasing anybody because we are on the right track. And we will, at the end of the first segment, I came across a clip of you will see. But Shelton, apparently the police, they are making some headway in the fight against crime.
Yes.
And I see there, let me just take it up from my thing, a man facing nearly 100 charges as police intensify crackdown. I saw they arrested a popular DJ. I mean, serious, you have a good career.
Was there a case of police having 2 fatalities of guys on a motorcycle?
I've not come across
okay.
Yeah,
right,
but
okay.
I mean, 24 cases. Well, they knew they headed by Sergeant Matthew or Inspector Matthew.
Inspector Matthew.
Yeah, doing great work there. They did drug and stuff. Early this morning, they were, well, not the rampager, but doing their checks in several areas. And one man, 24 counts of possession of firearm ammunition, 24 counts of importation of firearms into Lusha, 24 customs-related offenses for illegally imported goods, 24 counts of fraudulent evasion under the Customs Act. I mean, Shelton, this is a lot. And we have to give them the support, the police. The RSLPF has pledged to maintain pressure on criminal networks, emphasizing its commitment to reducing the flow of illegal firearms and safeguarding. So, Irving Springer, you heard? The Prime Minister doesn't have to go down. He's providing all the stuff, including we have K9s. The K9 unit is up and running. All right? And we're not paying $40,000 a month. And they are using, and policemen, I welcome you. This morning while we were at Pensioners Corner, we got a tip off that they were at the vigil roundabout early morning making that, and we were like, hallelujah, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus. Because that is what we want to say. We must cooperate with the police. We must help them out. And when you see there are roadblocks, don't broadcast that on your status.
Yes.
Don't send that on Facebook. Don't do that. If you are a law-abiding citizen, don't do that. Enjoy the inconvenience for 2 or 3 minutes, man, and let the police, because the gun that comes, they are able to retrieve, that might have been the gun who would have shot you or your family, a family member of yours.
Especially now the fellas don't.
Yes, they don't care.
They fire anywhere.
Anywhere, indiscriminately.
Yes.
So that gun could have been instrumental in causing harm to you or death to a family member. Don't broadcast.
Indeed.
Come on, people, we have to appeal to you and the young men, man. Come on, 30 years, you're dead.
Indeed.
That's not a life, man. You're not even living to 50. At 30, you're gone.
Yeah.
Because you're involved.
30 is far.
Far a lot,
right now.
yeah.
I think I've been checking the what how you call that, the median age or whatever.
Yes.
Or the
20 something.
Yeah, 27.
27.
But that's about the longest you had of.
Yeah, man. 27, man. You have your whole life ahead of you, and you gone to meet your maker. No, man. Come on. We have to put down the guns. Put down the guns, my people. The young men especially. Ladies, don't soot-wire them in the vis. Don't hide for them. Mothers, I mean, I could tell you, regale you, stop. Don't do that. Because that's a short life. They may come for you too. Because if they cannot get him, they'll get you. And you don't want to be caught up in that. So let's encourage our young men. That is not the life for you. Put down the guns. All right? And citizens, do not broadcast where the police are having roadblocks and stoppages. Man, you welcome that. Put the phone down. Don't tell anybody. You know? Yes, you're inconvenienced for 5 minutes. I understand that. You know, you might reach to work late. Your boss will understand. Cooperate with the police. Let's do all we can to ensure that our country is safe. You have family members. You want them safe. All right? So, I applaud the police as you continue doing what you're doing. We're encouraging you. Do your best. I mean, protect and serve. You understand? I mean, the department might not be the best, but which department, which organization is 100% correct? Or, you know what I mean? Everything is hunky-dory. There will be some grievances. There are some lazy fellas in the force, you know. There are lazy teachers, lazy lawyers, lazy doctors, lazy people all over the place. But don't let that break your morale. Come on. You're getting the equipment, you're getting the stuff. Let's do our work. And we're going to encourage you. For sure, when I see you, man, I'm putting on my windows early. I'm taking out, as a matter of fact, I must put my sticker. Taking out my thing. Mr. Fernando, yes, look.
Yes.
I mean, correct. Are you the only one on board? Yes. Or hello, Shelton. Full cooperation.
Yes.
Full cooperation. No matter if I'm an inconvenience for a few minutes, but I know they are making the country safer, and we have to cooperate fully with the police. I realize we due for our first break.
I have sent you a message for someone who wanted the address of a St. Lucian owned shipping firm in New York.
Yes, he wants that.
Yes, so you can
my partner.
Yeah, you can check that out.
Yes.
And very good subject I think we have tackled today.
Yes.
Let me just very quickly say before I hand over to Jaquan for the break. In fact, I have a live read to do though, by the way. So better I just do the live read and deal with the other stuff when we come back, okay? So, Yellow's Bar presents a 3-hand domino competition on Saturday, September 27th at Cooleytown from 8 p.m. until. Are you ready to play? Are you ready to win? See you at the table. The registration, just $30. What's in it for you? A first prize of $500, second prize $300, third prize $200, one round knockout re-enter fee $30 only once. All right. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters will be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you for staying with The Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, with me, Shelton Daniel, alongside Terry Fenelon and our ever-reliable technical operator, Jaquan. Now, before I go any further, I want to take a little pause to express my condolences to the family, to the loved ones of the late Augustus C. Small, a former Deputy Director of Corrections, an ex-soldier, Justice of the Peace, and a former co-worker of mine at Winwood and Leewood Brewery. In fact, it was a third former co-worker, David Hippolyte, who posted the message first that Gus wasn't doing well, and not long after we were told that Gus had passed away. Gus is actually a first cousin to my brother on my father's side, Paul Francis of Cicero. So, Paul, as I like to call you by your middle name, Constantius, you're the former proprietor of the Sugar and Spice restaurant at the Castries Market. Brother, my condolences to you for the passing of Gus, who I'm sure many people would miss. He was a man who loved life and lived it. A serious man, but a man who found time for fun. Frontline member of the original Carnival Band. So people like Von Charles and so on would know him very well from the whole Carnival setup. They were not necessarily of the same band. I think Gus would have been a cozy Guzzlers man and so on. I know he was very close to the late Alan Didier. They were very, very close friends. And so, someone like Alan's widow, Jennifer Didier, would have known Gus very well. So all these people. This morning I spoke to his wife, now his widow, Joan Honora Small. And, I'm so happy to say that she sounded like she's come to terms with it. She was remarkably strong. Thanked me a lot. I have to pay them a visit at their home in Kako Babono, at the intersection of the road going down into Jira and so on, just there. Gus was, you remember I said about a couple of people with my stubborn streak, but they have a way that whenever they talk to me about something, I'm inclined to listen to them. And I said one of them is Gus Small, who's just passed on. And I remember sometimes I would be embarking on a course of action. Like once a manager wrote me some communication that was very offensive, something which I felt struck at my right to be a union member, and I wasn't about, and I was going to write him a very strong letter. And I went on with it, and Gus allowed me to vent. And the morning when a meeting was supposed to be held in response to my letter, I remember he said to me, "My brother, let me tell you something. Sometimes in life, it's not really whether we write or not, Sometimes, you have to look at things in a manner that preserves what you have going for you. And even at times, don't assert your rights too much, even though the other person is wrong. Recognize the position that they're in, and there are times you have to stoop to conquer. Mm-hmm. And then later on, you can come back and really, there are different ways to skin a cat, Yes. And he says sometimes you might allow the cat to scoot out of the door, whatever, or bare its fangs at you, because later on you'll get it. And he never came directly to what he was talking about, but just the message. And I went into that meeting with top management and all. And but I didn't allow it to. The offensive manager, I went into him and I said, "Look, I've had a rethink of this. Can we, come to an understanding?" And he said, "Really, you may not?" He said, "Well, let me run and tell, the bigger boss who was there." Like he himself was eager to resolve the thing out of her. And he went, and then the bigger boss came and said to me, "So I gather you had a very nice meeting with your department head, and I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you that you decided to resolve this thing." Yeah. Because I was afraid, what the outcome of this thing might have to be, what action might have to be taken and so on. And then afterwards, it's amazing. I developed such a friendship with the Supremo, who told me, he can never forget I was feisty, and that day, I showed some. I never told him that, Gus was the one who had spoken to me. And Gus had this kind of calm way. We just said, "Well, let me tell you something, my brother. When you reach to be my age and you've seen life and you've seen things come and go, sometimes, you just have to learn to de-escalate things and to quiet them down. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to go with your fist clenched and pull out your shirt and this." And Gus was a man, I guess, if he wanted to be dangerous, he could have been dangerous, He was always a man who was well equipped, I would tell you in what sense. But Gus would find people misbehaving, and he just would go and, rest his hand on both their shoulders and talk to them and say there's no need for that. And later on, I told him, "How do you do it, Gus?" He said, "Let me tell you something, man. In the army, this is one of the things that I learned. And when you're a well-trained cop, you're like that too, You tell a man move, and you don't have to be loud or rough, He just look at you. And the way you tell him to move, and he must move, So you don't have to excite yourself and so on, You just see it in your confidence and your way. And I remember, learning those things from Gus Small. And sometimes that man, I used to wonder, how does he make it being a carnival man, a fun man, and yet Gus had this countenance about him, that when he spoke to you, you knew there was a no-nonsense thing about you. I'll always appreciate him for that. His home, although I haven't been there for a long time, was always open to me. Whatever time I came, he and Joan would welcome me and entertain me. Their hospitality was always tops. And his two children, a son and a daughter, I'm surprised when they meet me and they remember me. A couple of times I didn't remember And his son would tell me, I'm Gus's son. He had this little place up in the Baywalk Mall, in the aisle there where he used to sell, different things and so on. And I mean, they were just absolutely, and I'm sure still are, sweet children. And I know it's a combination of their mother and no small measure their father, who is no longer with us, sadly. I remember his time as the Deputy Director of Corrections at the Bordelais Correctional Facility. And when Hilary Herman decided to quit the job for some time, that Gus actually became the Acting Director of Corrections. He made sure that the annual reports given at the start of the yearly criminal assizes, that he delivered it to say what is the state of things, at the prison facility. And he always seemed to revel in the good news, where he would come to say, do you know our prison farm now produces a very high percentage of everything we consume? Our eggs, our this, we produce that on the farm, our potatoes and this, and we are planning to go into this and that. And he was always very, very happy about those things. You could hear the sadness in his voice when he would speak about prisoners who were there. And for so long, nobody would come to visit them. And he says, this is part of the rehabilitation. That's why we provide for the visitation, so that you have a situation where people feel that contact. They get to miss the fact that those loved ones, that they cannot be out there, and that gives them motivation to reform and so on. Gus welcomed things like the jazz that they brought to board, the education, and those sorts of things. So he was really a man who was about giving people a second chance, giving them a fair shake, moving towards. But he always made it clear to those fellows who felt they could attack prison officers and wardens and so on, correctional officers, that he was not putting up for that. You try to go and assault a correctional officer, well, you better expect, some baton strikes and being put in solitary. He was no nonsense about this sort of thing. And there was a prisoner who had killed somebody, and they sent him to life in prison, and he beat up a correctional officer badly, and he himself got whacked. And Gus said, look, we don't have any policy to brutalize people or to mistreat them. But if you think you're going to come and just like that break a correctional officer's arm, and you're going to be handled with kid gloves, he said that, it's not going to happen. He said it openly and so on. So Gus Small, Godspeed, going to miss this man quite a lot. Sometimes you don't see somebody for a while, but just knowing they're there on the planet, in the country, together with you, you have that sense of assurance and feeling good about it. And so I don't feel any the better for not having Gus Small as part of my life, as part of our life anymore. But such is the way that eventually goes all flesh. Terry.
Such is life. You have said it all. I got to know him late, though.
Okay.
I knew of him, but I got to know him personally later, late in life. So, nice guy.
Yes.
As far as I know.
He was a justice of the peace as well.
Always.
Yes.
We always cordial to each other.
Yes.
And it was sad when I heard the news, just like you. So, we wish him well. Travel well. He has only gone before us.
Yes, indeed.
That's something that we must always
remember. Like it says, we will eventually go the way of all flesh.
Yeah. So we are to follow. Yeah. He has just gone before us. That's in the midst of life, there is death.
Yes.
And we shall follow. So we'll meet again on the other side. Okay, Shelton?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Where do we begin?
At the beginning.
Continue.
At the beginning.
Shelton, as I was saying earlier, I was trying to clear my phone. Thousands of videos, and the memory is full now. I have to get a proper phone with a lot of storage. And I came across a clip, which is still relevant. Sometimes we forget. And it was it's showing the fundamental difference between the Central Labour Party and the UWP. I think that's video 4. Check 1. Yeah, maybe you could just let that run before we go to St. Jude. We need to remind our people.
Inclusion is one principle we should readily embrace so that we can give our country the best chance of success. As politicians, we must never forget that we are putting ourselves forward to serve people. Not some of the people, but all the people.
The people of Castries East chose categorically to reject the United Workers' Party at the last election. 11 other constituencies said to the United Workers' Party, yes, we want to build a new St. Lucia with you, we are on the road with you, and we'll be working with you. And so the government sought to invest in those communities where they bought into the philosophy and thinking, you understand, of the government. It's very important that the community buys into the vision.
We must never forget that we are putting ourselves forward to serve people. Not some of the people, but all the people. Not some of the people, but all the people. All the people.
And here lies the fundamental difference between the St. Lucia Labour Party and the other side. It's a side. I am not going to call it anything else. It's a side. Alan Chasney's side. So we serve all of the people. Everything we do is to benefit all. And you heard Belrose herself? I mean, she articulates the Belrose doctrine well. The doctrine named after her, because she articulated it. They are only going to do for those who vote for them. That is the underlying principle of that side. But we're not like them. We are going to do everything for all of the people. Fundamental difference. Okay, now Shelton, I think we're about to head into St. Jude.
Oh, yeah, good.
This morning, the big man himself, Mr. Reno, posted an update. Hey! You know, I love Shelton. On Sunday, Danny, when we come to lunch, we're making a statement, you know. That's just a preamble, you know, a pre-show. You know, in medicine, I want to say a preprint, you know, a trailer. So what is going to happen when we go to St. Jude? Video one. Let's run video one, please.
I think the people of St. Lucia have put all their trust in me. Just hearing that Reno got the job, this is motivation for me.
Oh yes, so this is motivation. No, I'm not talking about you there. That is, you know, we updated and we're getting ready to march. Shelton, I think tomorrow I'll have to go and check on my toe, because I want to be in shape to walk with the people to St. Jude when that great day is done. Now we have another longer video of Is It True? You heard it from Is It True? That's video 2. Is it true? He's speaking. Let's listen to Is It True?
90% of the buildings remain. From what I know, is just 2 structures, 2 of the smaller structures that would be impacted with any form of demolition.
We're saying here that the east wing of the St. Jude's Hospital is larger than the area being occupied at the stadium at this point.
Yes.
Good.
By about 4,000 square feet.
By about 4,000 square feet. How much did you estimate the completion of the east wing of St. Jude's Hospital to cost?
Just about 9.5 million EC dollars.
9.5 million EC dollars. So is it your testimony? Are you saying that to complete the east wing of the St. Jude's Hospital with more space would cost us less than the 12 million that they are willing to spend on the stadium?
Absolutely.
I think we have been very heavily criticized for stopping the work at St. Jude.
Government had continued working on it from the time they got into power, because fact is, there was already a Taiwanese loan approved for $20 million US, of which 10 million had been used. So you found yourself with a dedicated line of 27 million EC dollars to work on the St. Jude Hospital. If they had done that from day one as a priority, we may be in a different position than we are now.
If we had made the decision from day one when we went in there, by now, St. Jude would have reopened. That is the reality. If we had made the decision from day one when we went in there, by now, St. Jude would have reopened.
The consultant engineer stressed that the roof is already compromised and it is better to come down in a structured operation. However, he said once the roof comes down, it will set a series of events into motion.
But once the fiberglass sheets come off, it means the process now to remove the rest of the roof must follow in a sequence. That's it, it must follow.
And the question now is, what happens if there is in fact some catastrophic failure of the roof at the Odlum Stadium and the resultant non-functioning of the hospital?
So the moving of the hospital from this facility, it must happen. Once this sheeting comes off, that's it. The sequence of events, you would say, has started. So the hospital must be taken off from this stadium in the shortest possible time.
90% of the buildings remain.
We would be better off in the existing buildings as currently constructed at the St. Jude site rather than in the stadium. The stadium has a serious set of problems.
The Standard Tapia was a hotel, if you know. It's a hotel.
I'm very much right. Yes.
Okay. It's a hotel that has been recycled to become a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
The standards of the facility at Tapia are in a worse condition than what exists at St. Jude's, and that's the fallacy of the whole thing.
Have a conscience. There has to be a moment in the life of a politician when his conscience has to take over his love for power and replace it with the power to love the people who put them there. It's about them. Your legacy does not lie in what you've done for you, but in what you have done for others. That's what it is all about.
My word. You heard the man, you heard him. Is it true? In his own words, had they continued, he had a report costing almost $1 million, which told him that the building was fit for purpose. Is it true? Is it true? Said it himself. But he decided to go with the human measuring tape. Go and build a box, squandered our money. We could have been out already. That is why when you see St. Jude is going to be officially open, all of us, including the Flabos, because it will serve you too, we have to descend there and raise our hands to heaven and say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Don't let anybody fool you. These fellas played politics, but I tell you, Shelton, a man collected $2 million for doors for the box, and there's not one door. You're telling me this was, man, that was a slush fund for certain people. That was a slush fund for certain people. We could have been in St. Jude long, but they needed to find a way to enrich themselves. Is it true? But in his own words, he told you that could have been finished in 18 months. So why wasn't it finished? Now, I have a question for these guys, including Nancy, because Nancy's on record as saying they gave away paint. Shelton, you cannot just give away government property, you know.
Okay.
Special prosecutor, stop sleeping on you. Let me pause. Let's take the last video. Last one I sent you, I think video 5. Let's see broad daylight what's happening there now. And we have questions, and the special prosecutor, it's time to earn your money, man. Video 5.
Everybody gets a heart. For the beginning of the term, I was able to get some.
I saw you went by somebody home and collect some material with a kind of police. And can you tell me right now where is that material is?
So all the material that was collected for St. Jude was at the free zone and the St. Jude warehouse. And the officers who were in charge were the officers of the Ministry of Economic Development. They took inventory of everything that was collected and where it was taken to. So all the material that was collected for St. Jude was at the free zone and the St. Jude warehouse. So what we did was we collected all the materials for St. Jude that was spread at different locations, at least 3 or 4 different locations in the north, and all was moved to the St. Jude warehouse.
Ireland, these fellas really take us for, that would mark on your forehead, man, people. You believe it? Now you see how easy True is throwing civil servants under the bus. Oh, they took inventory and the civil servants, where? And they cannot find it. We have Nancy Charles on tape saying that the paint spoiled and they threw it away. Man, you cannot throw away government property like that.
It has to go for a process.
There's a process.
The board of destruction.
So a special prosecutor, you have to ask Nancy, how did she dispose of all that paint? Where is that paint?
Well, I did see some pictures that Lamboucherie turned red.
Red?
You know how they call the Lamboucherie?
Yes.
Going into the sea and so on, estuary and so on. I did see red Lamboucherie, green Lamboucherie, blue Lamboucherie.
No, you don't throw away. Sheldon, I sat on a chair to get rid of old computers. You have to stack that in a corner.
Yeah.
Right, the chief education officer.
But there's something called the board of destruction. And all
Correct.
Of that.
They have to come and check it out and then say, okay. Then after you have given a clearance, and that takes time.
Yes.
I remember we had a big industrial machine. We're not using it because that was not for the school. That was for, and we could not get rid of it. A gentleman came there and says, "Man, let us pay you for that." And with the money, we could have bought about 10 different machines.
Okay.
I wrote the chief at the time. He was Marcus Edward. Marcus said, "Boy, let me check on that for you. We have to write and stuff." And these fellas, government red tape. Man, that took so long. Eventually, we had to get through the thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Excuse the language, but that's how it is. So how could Nancy have just discarded? Well, she said, I'm not sure if she did it, but they had to give it away, they had to throw it away.
Yeah.
No, my brother, special prosecutor, that's a low-hanging fruit according to Fridges. Albert Fridges said that's low-hanging fruit.
We almost have to go.
We almost have to go for the break.
Final break. But I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
We don't want to give him too much exposure.
Right.
But did you hear Guy Joseph lately? His tack is that the government cannot open St. Jude because there is so much problems and the electricals. If they show you, his exact words, well, not his exact words, was if the plan shows you that this electrical conduit or conductor is on this side, you got this choice on the other side. So there is no way to know where things are passing. And I said, look at in this world, where we have such a sophisticated thing called circuit tracing, contact tracing.
That's right.
Where, as a matter of fact, a computer can do that, can show you, okay, you rest the thing, where is it passing, where is it going through? You have different thermal images and so on. Guy Joseph says the electricity, the wiring, it's such a mess that they don't know where this wire, which goes there, where it ends up. I said, my goodness me. So it might be good for somebody associated with the project, Reno or somebody, to come and to make a statement to address, because any kind of propaganda that they can get to toss together in a hodgepodge, they're going to do it.
But don't refuse it true.
Yeah. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We take our final commercial break. When we come back, I think we'll be going to the phone lines.
Maybe, yes.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
St. Lucia, are you ready to tease your way to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 in Dominica? NBC and Real FM is giving one lucky fan the ultimate getaway, an all-expense-paid trip to the Nature Island for 3 nights of non-stop rhythm, culture, and unforgettable vibes. Here's how to enter. Step 1, follow us on Instagram at Real FM Official. 2, post a video up to 90 seconds long telling us why you deserve to be at the World Creole Music Festival 2025. Be bold, be creative, and show your passion for Creole music and culture. Step 3, tag us and send a collaboration invite to at Real FM Official so your video appears on both our pages. Step 4, get those likes up. The video with the most likes by October 10th wins the prize: round-trip airfare, comfy accommodation, and all access pass to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 to enjoy Dominica to the fullest. But hurry, the contest runs from August 11th to October 10th, and the winner will be announced on October 11th. This opportunity is open to all St. Lucians aged 21 and over. Only 1 entry per person, so make it count. Don't just dream about the festival. Tease your way there, only with MBC and Real FM.
Powered by Discover Dominica.
I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This is the Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters. On this Tuesday, it is day number 23. Boy, that's why I'm hopeless, I'm hopeless. I said it at the beginning, like I wonder why my dementia is only showing when it comes to the date, It's intact, the mind is intact, but depuis c'est pour changer date là. Dementia allez moi. All right, a community meeting for residents of Opicon on Wednesday, September 24th. Now, I just could have looked at this and know, that tomorrow is 24th, so today. Anyway, at 6:30 p.m., presented by Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, that is the Member of Parliament for Vieux-Fort North, and the location, Cyrus Place in Opicon. Tomorrow, Wednesday, September 24th, 6:30 p.m., a community meeting for residents of Opicon in Vieux-Fort North, and that will be presented by Honorable Moses Musa Jean-Baptiste. 487-9849, that's 758-487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number, and you can also call us on the landline 4533-911. We have someone waiting. You're on the Real Issues. Hello?
Yes, my dear gentlemen, Sheldon and Mr. Fenelon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good day. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you all.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I have been around from before Mr. Fenelon played his last script. But the fact remains that I am I have a lot of patience with my people on the WhatsApp, and as long as I am people who calls elevating my knowledge on the contribution that I'm making, so it doesn't hurt me. Sheldon, let me use that opportunity now to extend birthday greetings to my brother, Shy Boy in England. He's listening to you all the time. DJ Shy Boy in England. Tomorrow is his birthday. But then I will have more birthday to call about throughout the week. What I call about, Sheldon, is that I don't know if you'll have the clip where I heard Guy Joseph was talking about the opening of St. Jude. And he seems to be so elated. He seems to be so joyful about St. Jude will be open. But the first set of buildings that is going to be open is the surgical and whatever, what you call it? The surgical ward and these other wards. And now that he is saying that this was built by the UWP, I'm trying to find out, but I'm trying to understand myself. The medical and surgical ward, okay, I get it now. If it was built by the UWP, it means that there was something in mind to have done something for St. Lucia. Why didn't you have this concept and say, well, yes, these buildings were built by the UWP and we should continue on that. But today, after you destroy 2 buildings at St. Jude's, 2 buildings, now you want to go on radio and boast about the 2 buildings that is going to be open when we move into St. Jude was started by the UWP. Where are we going with that?
I don't know. You probably know the answer to that already. Those utterances are coming from one of those people whose minds are really fractured, fragmented, because they are just so divisive. So they don't realize that the divisiveness, it turns inward. It's like an electrical backrush. It goes back into their own psyche. And so they're all over the place. They don't know whether they're happy for St. Lucia or whether they want bad things to happen to St. Lucia so they can ride on the back of it all. That's the way they are. Alan Shaston and Guy Joseph are 2 people.
Joyful, how happy he is. St. Jude's going to be open, and the surgical and medical ward was built by the UWP people. But anyway, be that as it may, my people, honestly, I could not make it through to answer last Sunday because of my condition, my health condition, as you know, Shell. But let me tell you, I'm happy that I was not down there, because I was able to cap everything that happens on the TV. And this is where I can tell you, I am looking forward, if I can make it, to View Fort on the eve of my 70th birthday, on the 28th of September. My birthday will be on the 29th of September. Frisco's on 10. I'm looking forward to celebrate with you people on that occasion. My brethren, have a blessed one.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much. Real Issues. We have someone else on the line waiting. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon, Terry.
Good afternoon, my brother.
I'm going to send an invoice to the Real Issues, you know. I'm going to send an invoice to the Real Issues. Shelton.
Yes?
I am still basking in the Lisa Mania lunging, you know.
Okay. Not a bad thing to bask in.
Sheldon, if there are two people in this world that I really love and appreciate are my parents. Well, to be honest, I have more love for my mother because she was the one that was always there, but my father played his role. And when Lisa Joye called her parents on stage, and she with all that passion and joy made that statement that her mother is a seamstress and her father is a security guard. That touched me. You know why that touched me, Sheldon? Because that is inspiration for young men, other young men and young women, to inspire them that no matter where you come from, no matter what job that your parents have, with the right attitude, with the level of discipline, you could aspire to hold one of the highest office in the land. And I'm telling you, I am proud of Lisa. I'm getting to love Lisa more and more. And I am here today asking the people of Castries Southeast to give Lisa Joye a chance to represent them. Now, you know Lisa already unblocking things out of the pipeline already. You know, 100 persons from the Southeast Castries will be owning a piece of St. Lucia pretty soon from now. You know, lights are being installed in the forestier, on the forestier field. So Lisa is beginning to unblock things right now. People of Castries Southeast, y'all have a good person to represent y'all. Please vote for them. Moving on very fast. Shelton, I have been living in New Village for the past 17 years of late. And it is the first time I have seen the New Village River so clean as a result of Richard Frederick sending someone to deseal the river and to clean the river. But we have a problem. In spite of all that work being done, the people from up the road throwing all kind of garbage in the river. And it's clogging it, man. It makes no sense to clean the river and yet still tons of garbage are being thrown in the river. That is my contribution.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we have another call. Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead. Real Issues.
Yes. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yes. It's a lot of rain in the south. I don't know for you guys up north.
Same up here.
Okay, we've had some.
All right then. Yes. So yes, I endorse everything Brother Gaspar was saying about Lisa. I really admire the young person, and I personally believe that Lisa will do a history in Southeast just like Kingston Kazame Baby did, because she can identify. She came from humble beginning. Yes, I think she will make history in Castries Southeast. That's one too. And I want to tell everybody in the South, action is in the South on this Sunday.
Hell yes.
Future for the future.
I love that.
Yes. So everything is coming in the South. We launch in Butcher and soon we'll be opening St. Jude. So I am so excited, man. I'm overjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Also. All right, 487-9849, 45-33911. We have yet another caller. Hi, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir,
good afternoon,
you know what is baffling about that nonsense UWP claiming about the hospital in Beaufort? These fellows went on air and said, "Oh, a tall man, your head can touch the ceiling." I would love you to show that clip a while ago to show these men are on scaffolding, putting light bulbs in the ceiling. I want you to show that again when I put that phone down. But they claim the ceiling is solo. If you stretch your hand, you touch the ceiling. These men are desperate, and I'm warning St. Lucians. Do not give Chasney and their cronies the light of day. They do not belong in politics in St. Lucia. They need to be alienated. They need to be removed and never come back in politics. They had a little talk a while ago. Their usual Tuesday. One topic, crime. Both of them, Chico and Guy Joseph, crime. When they were in office, there were crimes. They had no solution. But today, they have the most solution for crime. I'm warning St. Lucians, don't waste time with these men. The same men, they are the most honorable men we have. These men, for me, if they are qualified gorgors, like I told Frederick the other day. They're not educated. If they have qualification, that's all they have. These same men coming and start so much nonsense on television, and St. Lucian needs to make sure they don't listen to these guys. Every week, the same thing, the crime. Every single time. They have nothing more to say. Let Philippe J. Pierre continue to run the country, and I'm telling you all now, Philippe J. Pierre will end up being the best prime minister in this country. Not John Compton. This is a real man. And that's all I have to say. Tell the people of St. Lucia, don't bother these jackasses in the WP. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. We have another caller on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
How are you all?
We're doing okay, and you?
All right. I think I would like to speak in patois.
Yeah, go ahead.
Moi, amot dis-moi, qui côté kakal sorti cette liste? Pour kakal ka ale Vifot Neuf, ek ka di Moussa ek Vifot Neuf pa ka match, même kon ville Eglo pa ka match. Now, Mr. Pensioner, on the 19th, 20th, pensioners that yo. Mais moi, ça m'a pris à fait. Pensioners pour journal. Story a bien forcé. Yo prend la pensioners avec Biden pour lunchini dimanche. Moun qui ka marché avec cravate, a kou yo plus fou passer ça qui font. So, moi jusqu'à bêtiso, les ont qu'à marcher, ve up avec ve ate, because of whole control problem. Yo tout fou, ek, yo swema sacrifice, Matisatan like it is. Moi mention like it is, because of whole koyo problem. The choice is clear.
Okay, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you very much.
Merci appeal.
4879849. WhatsApp, call us on that. And you can also call us on the landline, which is 4533911. You can send your WhatsApp messages too by going to realfmofficial.com or mbcslu.com. You'll see the WhatsApp messaging link there. Just click on it, type your message in the box, hit the send button, and we'll get it as soon as you send it. We have someone else on the line. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel and Mr. Terry.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, they call him the special prosecutor, but I call him the sleeping prosecutor because I haven't seen anything so special about him. But my main point is, there are some politicians that they are very quick to quote the Constitution when it is convenient to them, and when to trample on that same Constitution for selfish political gain, they have no problem in doing that. Tell them go and see who is the chief security of the state according to the constitution, if it is not the commissioner of police. It is not the duty of the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Security to strategize a crime-fighting plan for the commissioner. That is his duty. Because the Prime Minister cannot do his work and do that of the commissioner. So, all these young persons that choose to be gangsters, that is a personal choice they made, you know. So, when they happen to lose their lives, you cannot blame the Prime Minister or blame government for that when the Prime Minister has created a better way for all these youngsters. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we continue taking your calls and we have someone else on the line. Hi, Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
I hope you're all doing fine.
We are.
And good afternoon to all your listeners. Gentlemen, have you listened carefully to people putting civil servants on notice? Putting the fire chief
on notice.
On notice? Is that a new trend? We have to learn to respect our public servants. You are there for policy, Mr. Politician, and the civil servants will direct your policy as to what you give them to work with. But to try to threaten them, it's a different story altogether. And listen to me, as an ex-civil servant, I don't take that lightly. I do not take it lightly. And the civil servants who are now serving must take time off to listen to what these guys are saying. They're threatening you. Now, let's go to one more. Mr. Terry and Mr. Daniel, do you recall that the Alan Shastley administration went to Parliament on that Madi Puete thing to borrow money, and nowhere in that document there wasn't a receiving agency? It was Adrian Auger who picked that up. Can you recall that, Mr. Philino?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I'm looking for that document. I'm looking for that tape and that document. I cannot find it. But that's to show you how reckless they were. They wouldn't take the time to sit down and think of what they were bringing before the Parliament. Have a nice day, gentlemen.
The patrol letter comes to mind.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. We continue taking your calls. 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that, and you can reach us on the landline as well, 4533-911. Now, there are a couple of good messages that I got, and I really would like to read at least a couple of them. Do we have anyone on the line? Yes, we do. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I just have two concerns, Shelton. I find it strange that Guy Joseph now speaks about electricals. We have to be worried about that. When these fellas mention something, we have to look behind the grass that is behind the grass. Because you never know. They could be planning something and then they inadvertently speak of it before. Notice when Guy Joseph spoke about there will be blood flow in this country, or blood must flow in this country, what we experienced last week. Okay? And especially the days leading up to the launch of Lisa in Bexon. We have to watch them fellas. We have to be sure that we have somebody at St. Jude watching to see and ensure that nobody tries to sabotage the opening of St. Jude. Them fellas like copper, which is why he know to speak about the electricals. Ask him what happened to the copper that was in the walls when they got into government. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you very much. All right, do we have a last caller? All right, we don't have anyone there on the line presently? Okay, all right. He's got to click some things out of the way. That's probably going to be our final call. Hi, good afternoon. You're on the Real Issues.
Good Shelton and Terry.
Good day.
Hey, good day. How are you doing, Doc?
I want to exhort our comrades not to get into a back and forth over the hospital. Let us keep our eye on the prize. It is almost completed. They are throwing all kinds of things, 80-year-old building, bats. Let us not lose focus. Okay, do not get into these debates about the cost. Okay, we are almost at the end. As Martin Luther King says, my eyes have seen the glory of the kingdom. You know, so it is almost, we are there, we are near. And that should be our focus. Forget about 80-year-old and 90, whatever they come up with now. The thing is, the hospital will be delivered.
That's right.
And that is what is eating them out. As Shasney said, if we let them finish the hospital, Krakow, he didn't say Kwapo, he said Krakow smoke our pipe. Thank you, gentlemen. Let us keep our eyes on the prize.
All right.
Keep the focus.
Thank you very much, and I think that brings us to 2 o'clock. Appreciate you having been part of today's Real Issues. We have some messages that are very nice, but I think we'll have to leave them for tomorrow.
Photos of the docks heading to St. Jude.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
All
Praise
right.
the Lord.
Okay, so wonderful. It looks like we are getting much closer, and maybe that accounts for the panic and all the outrageous, outlandish statements that we are hearing, because that which they fear the most is coming upon them, the completion of St. Jude's, and they know that after that, at any moment, without warning, without giving them time to prepare, the Prime Minister would be in a position to ring the bell. He gave his word that St. Jude Hospital will be finished in this term. And the term required is when Parliament is dissolved to pave the way for elections, and that is at the discretion and playing close to his chest of the Prime Minister. Thank you very much, Terry Fenelon. Looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks, Jaquan. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday safely, everyone. For the Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, I'm Shelton Daniel, signing out.
The man, the voice, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Big 4 8056. Big for multi-X 2X. Pick 275. Pick 2 multi-X 2X. 1 off 940. Lucky 3 608. Lucky 3 multi-X FP.
The man, the voice, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here.